The situation remains tense in Manipur. Shoot at sight orders in Manipur. Internet remains suspended. Central forces have been flown in to calm the situation down. The army says that the situation is being brought under control. Amit Shah speaks to chief ministers of neighbouring states, says we are monitoring the situation closely. An airline, Go First, is in crisis in insolvency court. Go First to get grounded soon. That's a big question. Global lessors have asked the aviation regulator to deregister aircraft. And the big Pawar bombshell. NDTV has an exclusive sneak peek into the Pawar succession plan. Senior Pawar set to hand over his political legacy to daughter Supriya Sule. But the big question, what is there in store for Ajit Pawar? And the Foreign Minister of India meets Chinese Foreign Minister in the crucial SCO meet in Goa. India's strong message to China. Friction in Ladakh on for 3 years now, says India. India also says that border friction points unresolved. And the Supreme Court closes proceedings as far as wrestlers' protests in the national capital are concerned. There you can see these are visuals from yesterday night. Midnight scuffle at Jantar Mantar. But the Supreme Court says that adequate security has been provided and FIRs registered. And Adani Enterprises profit more than doubles, in Q4. Adani Enterprises top gainer on Nifty jumps almost 4.7%. And our lead story is the situation in Manipur. The situation remains tense. The fact is that paramilitary forces have been flown in. Internet remains suspended. The Manipur government has also issued shoot at sight orders as violence in the state spread to its capital, Imphal. The Home Ministry also said that it's monitoring the situation closely. In fact, Amit Shah has spoken to chief ministers of neighbouring states as well. In fact, Amit Shah had also spoken to chief minister of Manipur as well earlier in the day. These are visuals on your screen from Manipur and various parts, tribal-dominated districts of Manipur. And now broadband internet has also been suspended. Mobile internet has remained suspended in Manipur. Curfew has been imposed in many districts, as many as 8 to 10 districts. There is curfew. And now the big question is, how is the army actually going to calm the situation down? Paramilitary forces are deployed there. But let's just have a look at how the events unfolded today, because additional troops were deployed and still there was tribal anger on the streets.
Violence spread to Manipur's capital Imphal today and some other areas. Shoot-at-sight orders have been given by the government. About 500 personnel of the Rapid Action Force, a riot control police, have been flown in. They join other forces, the Army, Assam Rifles and CRPF, apart from the state police. However, the Chief Minister earlier in the day said the situation was normalizing. He also spoke to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and apprised him of the developing situation.
Incident which was taken place yesterday was due to misunderstanding and some communication gap, and now everything has been settled and will be normalized very soon.
Clashes erupted on Wednesday between the non-tribal Metai and a couple of tribal groups. It began after a march by tribal groups against a recent High Court order essentially backing scheduled tribe status to Metais who are non-tribals. The opposition is criticizing the BJP-led ruling alliance.
Explained to you, we have already sent cross message to the Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Home Minister. Also, the same copy was endorsed to Her Excellency the Governor of Manipur, who is representative President of Supreme Commander of India. So we request her immediately intervene. Please help us for enable us to bring complete peace here in Manipur.
The Army and Assam Rifles have already been conducting flag marches. Over 9,000 people have been moved to safer places. The government is yet to reveal the extent of the violence, especially casualties and arrests.
And now all the politics from Maharashtra. Friday is going to be a big day because the committee is likely to decide on an election plan and a succession plan for the next NCP president. Now, NDTV has learnt from sources that a succession plan for Sharad Pawar is already in place. But the key question is, will Ajit Pawar accept the decision of the committee that meets on Friday? And it's almost clear now that Supriya Sule, the daughter of NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar, is the chosen successor, and Sharad Pawar is likely to hand over his political legacy on Friday.
Sharad Pawar speaking directly to protesting NCP workers after Tuesday's surprise announcement that he will step down as NCP chief.
पण मला एक खात्री होती की तुम्हाला लोकांशी चर्चा केली असती तर तुम्ही मला कधी होय म्हणणार नसतं. जी काही तुम्हाला सगळ्यांची भावना आहे की नजरेसमोर ठेवून बाहेरून आलेल्या सहकार्याला विश्वासात घेऊन अंतिम निर्णय हा येत्या 1 ते 2 दिवसामध्ये करण्याची भूमिका घेऊ. पण ती घेत असताना कार्यकर्त्याच्या मनाची जी भावना आहे ती दुर्लक्षित केली जाणार नाही एवढंच या ठिकाणी आता सांगतो. 2 दिवसाच्या नंतर तुम्हाला असं बसावं लागणार नाही.
Dr. Supriya Sule also appealed to protesting NCP workers to give her father time. But sources have told NDTV that Sule could be chosen as his successor to lead the party. Supriya Sule, who's widely tipped to be in Sharad Pawar's position, or at least the national president of the NCP if Sharad Pawar does not reconsider his decision to resign, is now meeting protesters at the YB Chavan Center, and she's appealing to protesters to call off their protest at this point with folded hands. You can see Supriya Sule. In fact, the protesters are telling her, ma'am, we will sit here. Despite Supriya Sule's appeals, NCP workers remained unmoved, showing letters written in blood asking Sharad Pawar to reconsider.
The committee appointed by NCP chief Sharad Pawar will meet on Friday, and this, as per our sources, will be the first step of Supriya Sule's succession as the next NCP president. Several leaders off record, and in fact some of them on record, have been endorsing Sule as the national president of NCP. But the big question for the NCP is, will Ajit Pawar bolt?
Two of the contenders have ruled themselves out: state NCP chief Jayant Patil and senior NCP leader Praful Patel. That leaves MP Supriya Sule and Maharashtra's leader of opposition and Sharad Pawar's nephew Ajit Pawar.
देशात दिल्लीत बसणाऱ्या, लोकसभेत किंवा राज्यसभेत काम करणाऱ्या आणि देश काही वर्ष संसदेत बसून बघणाऱ्या व्यक्तीने अशा जबाबदाऱ्या पार पाडायच्या असतात. पवार साहेबांना तो अनुभव आहे, म्हणून पवार साहेब यशस्वीपणाने देशभर राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस वाढवण्याचं ते काम करू शकले.
Sources say there is no announcement expected to create a post for Ajit Pawar as Supriya Sule is elevated. But the NCP is in talks with other allies like the Congress and the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena to accept the NCP's claim to project Ajit Pawar as the chief ministerial face of the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, as the NCP is the biggest party in the alliance and Ajit Pawar is the leader of the opposition. And with speculation that Ajit Pawar might be headed towards the BJP, there is possibility of even a split, which the NCP wants to avoid by placating Ajit Pawar.
पहिलं त्यांची पक्षांतर्गत जी काही घडामोड आहे त्यांना शेवटी अधिकार आहे त्यांच्या मनाप्रमाणे काय करण्याचा. दुसऱ्या कार्यकर्त्यांना सुद्धा त्यांच्यावरती तेवढाच अधिकार आहे. कार्यकर्त्याचा सुद्धा आपल्या नेत्यावरती तेवढाच अधिकार असतो जसा नेत्याचा कार्यकर्त्यावरती असतो. त्याच्यामुळे ते त्यांना मला असं वाटतं ते सगळ्यांच्या हिताचा जो काय असेल तोच निर्णय ते घेतील. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट काय मी सल्ला कसा देणार त्यांना आता थांबा ना उद्या 5 वाजेपर्यंत ते काही निकाल घेतात ना आपण हे करण्याचं त्यांना
The political uncertainty in the opposition camp is not likely to end even if the succession plan is cleared tomorrow. With Sohit Mishra and camera person G.D. Shankar, in Mumbai, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Moving to other news now, a crucial moment for Indian diplomacy. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's meeting with the Russian Foreign Minister and his Chinese counterpart Qin Gang concluded in Goa. It lasted for about an hour and 15 minutes. He also met his Chinese counterpart Qin Gang. Now, both these meetings are crucial in separate contexts. The meeting with his Russian counterpart was crucial for the External Affairs Minister of India because it comes just 24 hours after what Russia called Ukraine's assassination bid on Vladimir Putin. As far as his meeting with his Chinese counterpart is concerned, that is crucial too because it comes amid the ongoing friction in eastern Ladakh with China. Maha has this report.
Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar held one-on-one meetings with both his Russian and Chinese counterparts. A week after Defence Minister Rajnath Singh's message to his counterpart on the adverse fallout of the border issue with China, now External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar sending out a similar message from Goa. In over an hour-long meeting with Qin Gang, the two discussed the LAC issue. S. Jaishankar tweeted to say that the focus remains on resolving outstanding issues and ensuring peace and tranquility in the border areas. The friction in eastern Ladakh has been on for 3 years now, since the fatal clashes at Galwan. And yet, at least 2 border friction points, Demchok and Depsang, remain unresolved. Since there has been no disengagement on 2 friction points, there has been no de-escalation on the LAC, either with troops or with weapons amassed at the border. An hour and 15 minutes long meeting also took place between S. Jaishankar and Sergei Lavrov of Russia. The Russian side saying that the two sides agreed to continue following the course of building a fair multipolar system of interstate relations, a line seen often repeated by Russia since the Ukraine war started in the context of the United States. Pakistan Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari also arrived in India 7 years after the last ministerial visit. But there is no one-on-one meeting with Mr. Jaishankar scheduled. That's because India's stand since the Uri terror attack of 2016, Delhi can't have talks while cross-border terror continues.
With this, the attention now shifts to the SCO Foreign Ministers meeting on Friday, a meeting that will decide on 15 agenda items that will be carried forward for the July summit. In the Foreign Ministers meeting itself, will the Ukraine issue come up? Well, that is up to the national statements that are being made by the various countries. It is not on the agenda per se. As per sources, Afghanistan too will not be on the agenda, but any of the countries, if they want, can raise it in their national statements. With camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, this is Maha Siddiqui in Goa for NDTV.
So as Maha has been pointing out that there will be no structured bilateral between India and between the Indian External Affairs Minister and his Pakistani counterpart because as India has reiterated, terror and talks cannot go together. Moving to other news now, our big focus, the latest airline in crisis is Go First. And now, the latest that we're getting on that news is that global lessors have asked the aviation regulator to deregister Go First planes. This is significant because, remember, DGCA, the aviation regulator, had issued a notice to Go First saying that all the passengers have to be refunded within a stipulated time period, and at the same time, Go First must also give a detailed plan as far as its operations going ahead are concerned. Now, the other important update on this story is that Go First had filed its insolvency plea in a tribunal court, and the tribunal court has reserved its order on its insolvency plea. So is it really on the verge of bankruptcy? Is Go First going to be totally grounded? All those questions remain. But for now, the big worry for passengers really is that Go First flights remain suspended till the 15th of May. Moving to news from the national capital, ace wrestlers have been holding a protest at Delhi's Jantar Mantar for over 10 days, in fact. And yesterday, the wrestlers had said that they were mishandled, they were manhandled and mistreated by police personnel. But the big development today has been that the Supreme Court has closed the proceedings on the petition filed by the 3 women wrestlers who have levelled sexual harassment allegations against BJP leader Brij Bhushan Singh, who is also the WFI chief. Here's a report.
Dramatic scenes at midnight on Wednesday near Jantar Mantar, where the wrestlers have been protesting for more than 10 days now. Wrestlers alleged that they were physically attacked by Delhi police while trying to get the folding beds for the night.
इतनी इज्जत गिराओगे क्या? हम अपनी मान सम्मान की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं और वो फिर धक्के मार रहा है चेस्ट पे लड़कियों कैसे वो पुलिस वाला धर्मेंद्र जो भी है इसी दिन देखने के लिए मेडल लेके आया तो मैं चाहूंगी कि देश का कोई खिलाड़ी मेडल ही ना लेके आए कभी इतनी दूरदर्शी करेगी हमारे यहाँ पे।
उन मेडलों को मैं गुजारिश करूँगा भारत सरकार से आप वापस ले लीजिए। ऐसे मेडल नहीं चाहिए जो देश में ये इज्जत मिलती है। ऐसे मेडलों का क्या करना है जब देश की बहन बेटियां सुरक्षित नहीं, हम सुरक्षित नहीं, ये हमारी रिस्पेक्ट है।
The police have categorically denied any of their men were drunk. And now police sources have cited a video with a different narrative, where a wrestler apparently says the cut on his head has been caused by a fan blade, and claim that the wrestlers deliberately tried to stage a run-in with them by calling politicians to the venue despite knowing that Section 144 was in place. The Supreme Court today refused to intervene in the case, saying that now FIRs have been filed by the Delhi police. The matter was closed in the top court. The protesting wrestlers could go to the High Court or any other local court if they had any complaints. Purpose of the petition before this court was registration of the FIR, which has now been recorded. Having regard to the ambit of the case before us, we close the proceedings now. For any other relief, the petitioners may move the appropriate jurisdictional magisterial court or the High Court.
Scenes from last night seem to have increased the resolve of the protesters, despite Supreme Court closing the plea by the wrestlers. What remains to be seen, whether Brij Bhushan Singh will be arrested or protest will continue here at Jantar Mantar. In New Delhi, with Arvind Gunasekar and camera person Manoj Thakur, Tanishq Punjabi for NDTV.
Now a special report from Tamil Nadu where buying liquor has gone high-tech. Our colleague Sam Daniel gets us this report where he looks at how automatic liquor vending machines at government-owned outlets have sparked a controversy. Take a look.
Buying liquor has gone high-tech in Tamil Nadu. Swanky automatic liquor vending machines have been set up at 4 government-owned outlets located inside malls in Chennai. Money can be paid online or in cash. The opposition says this would make it easier for minor students to buy alcohol.
How these vending machines will validate the age, because liquor is supposed to be for people above 18 years of age. Looking at newer avenues for selling liquor to increase the revenue is not good for the state, it's not good for the people.
The state government insists vending machines would be physically monitored by salespersons to avoid sale to minors. Plus, the system eliminates overcharging by salespersons. Authorities say this liquor vending machine will be under the direct supervision of the salespersons. But as you can see at this outlet, the machine is quite close to the entrance, and any children or minors can quickly walk in, grab a can or two, transacting online and get away without anyone noticing them. Last year, the Tamil Nadu government earned 44,000 crore from liquor sale. The DMK government had promised phased prohibition. The ruling DMK says 96 liquor shops have already been shut and 500 more are likely to be closed soon. Successive governments in Tamil Nadu have safeguarded and expanded sale of liquor, arguing prohibition would pave way for illicit liquor. With sale going high-tech now amid promise of phased closure, the big question is the Tamil Nadu government attempting to normalize drinking. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
And finally, grand preparations are underway in the UK for King Charles' coronation, which is scheduled to be held on Saturday. Now, of course, it's going to be a grand affair given the fact that it's after decades that this coronation is being held. But of course, there's a lot of Indian interest as far as the coronation is concerned because, of course, Rishi Sunak will be following all the traditions as far as the coronation is concerned. He will be reading out of the biblical book at the coronation. He and his wife will also be part of that procession. They will be holding the British flag. So a lot of interest there, but also skepticism because, young British Indians, young Britishers, all of them a bit cynical. All of them are saying that, there are more important things in Britain that the monarchy should care about. The monarchy should appeal to young Britishers as well. So there is mixed sentiment, of course. How many of, the Britishers actually think that this tradition is still relevant? Nevertheless, of course, there you can see on your TV screens those marches and the practice ahead of King Charles' grand coronation on Saturday. And finally, for the first time, scientists have caught a star in the act of swallowing a planet. And not just a nibble or a bite, but one big gulp. Astronomers reported their observations of what appears to be a gas giant around the size of Jupiter or bigger, being eaten by its star. So there you can see absolutely fascinating visuals on your screen. It's a preview of what will happen to Earth when our sun morphs into a red giant. The good news is it won't happen for at least 5 billion years. That's it on this news bulletin. Good night and goodbye.